Now, are these just notes that you have to refresh your memory, or were these notes that you
Yes,
prepared and?
yes, yes, because everything started to, yeah.
Okay.
So, I know Roxanne Sanchez, she received one in 2018.
Okay.
But I'm just trying to see if she was a child care because I know they had a lot of people that moved around too. So at that time I was on third shift.
Okay. Um, so you had presented another document that I marked as Exhibit 2. So I'm going to get over there.
So that document that I sent, the last one, are the documents that, which is public knowledge, that are the people that receive discretionary funds.
Okay.
The things that I have highlighted are the ones that I know that work with.
Okay. So now on page 1 of Exhibit number 2, you have Jill Kavanaugh. Do you know what her position was?
The nurse.
Okay. And how about Holly Berry?
She is the manager for the kitchen, I guess the building and grounds. So,
And Lisa Wary?
she's a child care worker.
Did she hold the same position as you?
I'm not sure if she did or not. Well, as a child care, I'm not sure if she was one or two.
Okay. And did she have the same supervisor as you?
Yes.
And what is her race?
I think she's white.
Okay. All right. And then Andre Soto. Is that the
Yes.
same gentleman you referenced earlier?
Yes.
And you said he was the dean
Yes.
of students?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know what his race is?
Um, I think he's Hispanic.
Okay. Oh, I can see right on here you have the, okay. Michelle Ruckert.
She's librarian. She's white.
All right. So then if we continue going down here, where you have it highlighted, it also provides their job title. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't need to go through each one of these.
No.
Okay. All right. So this first set of names that we started going through, um, it's highlighted 6/9/2019. Is that the date that they received a discretionary merit increase?
I guess according to this form, it is. That I see. Got the awards and adjustments. Like I said, I got this off their site, public site.
Okay. All right. And then following down, what we have on the screen now appears to be the awards for 2016. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And then 2017 would be on your page 6. 2014. All right. And then starting on your page 8, it looks like in May of 2018, there were discretionary pay increases.
Yes.
Is that correct? All right. And, okay. So there's one child care counselor too, Roxanne Sanchez.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
He's one. Al Sanchez. fee for childcare too, but he didn't get in this right here. But
Okay. And do you know what Roxanne Sanchez's race is?
she's white. She's just married to a Hispanic guy.
Okay. All right.
And those were just some of the letters that was written from the witnesses that's going to be on here tonight or today. So,
Okay.
that's all
All
that
right.
is.
Anything else that you want to specifically point out to me in these documents that were just shared?
Um, yeah, if we go back to the state of Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction, I have some things highlighted on my sheet that I wanted to share.
So Exhibit 1.
Yes,
Okay. What page?
let's go to page 8.
Okay. And the introduction?
If you go not to that one, the second paragraph, it says while racial and ethnic diversity within our agencies is a priority and one of the most significant challenges this plan seeks to overcome, we recognize the importance of all types of diversity and commit through this plan to identify and address policies, procedures contributing to the unrepresentation of the staff of historically marginalized groups. And I feel like when the color is a marginalized group, and strengthen and improve agency culture so all employees feel valued, respected, and supported in the firm, especially employees from groups that have been historically marginalized based on race, ethnicity, gender, religion, ability, gender identity, so forth and so forth. Guys, that.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is that, and I mean, and I have more if I need, I guess, reference back to it, but they put this in here to do this, but to me, it really hasn't been done. And this is not the first um, state of Wisconsin public instruction equity inclusion plans they've done. I just don't have the previous ones that they've done. So I don't know what they're doing to improve it, but I
Okay.
don't feel like it has been.
Okay. Anything else that I need to specifically put up on the screen that you want to see?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing. And I'll look at everybody again. Okay. Um, let's see. Um, now, do you have any evidence that the respondent paid different wages to Black employees than white employees who were performing essentially the same work?
I do not.
And then what about any evidence that men were treated better than women in terms of compensation or conditions of employment?
I don't have that either.
Um, all right, what else would you like to tell me about the complaint you filed?
So basically, the complaint that I filed is really in regards to discretionary merit fund.
And do you know how those funds are allocated?
How they're given out.
Yes.
From what I read, is a project that they have to do. Some projects that they do it continuously.
Um, and so why in your complaint did you limit the time period from July? I don't know what I did with your complaint. From July through November of 2018.
What do you mean by that? I limited the complaint?
Right. When you wrote your complaint, you were indicating that you were discriminated against. It says dates of discrimination, and you said it began July 13th, 2018, and lasted until November 13th of 2018.
I knew that's when I could file it was then, even though things happened previously. Um, I know that doing this is not a really an easy task in doing this.
Okay.
So I put in for it. I knew that all the other times that they would say, okay, well, it's in a time frame, the time limit that you have to do it in. So I was trying to do it in that time limit.
Is that like the 300 days? Is that what you're talking about?
So, yes.
Okay.
Another thing to this too, I know when I was trying to, when they switched me over to come and do it on this platform, it was kind of hard because I know they hadn't had a administrative law judge. They were saying that they was trying to get someone too. So, and I had to keep up on that because otherwise it would have went way, way past. So,
Okay. Anything else?
not that I can think of at the moment.
Okay. All right. Then, Attorney Kernot, do you have questions for Ms. Stackhouse?
Yes, just a few.
Okay.
On the on Ms. Stackhouse's exhibit number 2 on page 7, Ms. Stackhouse, you highlighted Roger Beckham Jr., correct?
Yes, is he on there? Yeah.
And that was to show that he worked at the Wisconsin School for the Blind and Visually Impaired, correct?
Yeah.
And what race is Mr. Beckham?
He's black.
And on page 5 of that exhibit 2, you highlighted Alfonso Sanchez, correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Sanchez was a child care counselor, correct?
Yeah.
Do you know if he was a child care counselor too?
I think he was. Yeah.
And Mr. Sanchez is Hispanic, correct?
Yeah.
And on the page for spring of 2017, which is page 6 of that exhibit, you highlighted Robin Full. She
Yeah.
was a child care counselor, correct?
Yeah.
And she was a woman, correct?
Yeah.
So she was a woman child care counselor who received a discretionary merit compensation award, correct?
A white woman. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I'm sorry, did you say, I'm sorry, I had to interrupt. Did you say Miss Snow?
No, Miss Robin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Oh,
Yeah.
PF.
Yeah. You
Oh,
said it
okay,
right.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. And I believe you already testified that that Roxanne Sanchez was a child care counselor, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was also a woman who received the DMC, correct?
Yeah.
And the documents you provided confirm that nobody at the Wisconsin School for the Blind and Visually Impaired received an award between July and November of 2018, correct?
Oh, you mean as a child care or anybody?
Anybody?
Well, according to the documents that I pulled off the state website, it says that 15 Granger got one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh,
What? I'm asking about specifically about the date right now, as opposed to the
oh,
individuals. The dates in 2018.
Well, that's what I'm looking at the date too, because on here it's just, like, just say for Christine Bridges at 5/27/2018.
Okay, and 5/27 of 2018 is May 27th of 2018, correct?
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
is before July of 2018, correct?
Yes.
So those awards were paid more than 300 days before you filed your complaint, correct?
Right. But normally, I think when you file you file a complaint from up to 300 till back then. You got 300 days if it's been continuing, from my understanding.
Right. Okay. And you were a member of the State Superintendent's Affirmative Action Advisory Committee starting in September of 2019, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And you volunteered to be on that committee, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just take a quick look at my notes and see if I have
I
anything
think
else.
you have to get chosen once you submit an application.
Okay. Yep, that's all I have.
Okay. All right, based on the questions that you were just asked by Attorney Kernett, do you have anything else that you wish to tell me, Ms. Stackhouse?
Yes, I just want to say women of color still didn't get a discretionary fund. It's women of color, not men of color, because 3 of men of color did receive one.
All right. Okay. At this point in time, why don't we address the 2 exhibits that we've been talking about? Are you offering those into the record as part of your proof, Ms. Stackhouse?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, Attorney Kernett, you're raising the objection that you had noted earlier that you think that they're both untimely because they weren't provided at least 10 days prior to the hearing and because they're outside of the statute of limitations. Is that correct?
Yes, the untimeliness with respect to all of them, the outside the statute of limitations with respect to the ones that are there was a list of awards from 2019, which I'm not making that argument on. And then with
Yes.
respect to the last 2 pages of Exhibit 2, the emails from her witnesses,
Oh,
I would object to those. That those are not appropriate exhibits. They're kind of akin to testimony, which they can testify to things under oath. They weren't, contemporaneous documentation. I don't think it's almost like a legal argument that's being
right.
submitted on behalf of those individuals. So I object to just those 2 emails on that basis as well.
Okay. And what is your position on that, Ms. Stackhouse?
From my understanding, if it's continuous, it's serial discrimination, that it should be included because it just shows, like I said, everything that the pattern here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pattern, and this shows it's a pattern. And the documents that I have here were the documents that I actually been submitted, but these are the documents that it comes from off the site that shows it.
Okay. All right. Well, as I indicated earlier, if this case should go up on appeal, the appellate body will want to see the exhibits that were offered. And so I am going to allow the documents. We'll go exhibit number 1, the equity and inclusion plan, even though it wasn't released to Attorney Kernett at least 10 days prior to the hearing or to myself. I don't see that the department is prejudiced in any way by the late receipt of that document. So exhibit number 1 will be received. Exhibit number 2, I will receive for the limited purposes of Ms. Stackhouse's argument, with the exclusion of pages 9 and 10, because the 2 individuals will be testifying, and it appears that those documents were created in for the purposes of today's hearing. So they weren't necessarily documents that were created for a reason other than litigation. So we will accept into the record pages 1 through 8 of Exhibit 2. Okay. And of course, those are subject to the outstanding objections of the respondent. Okay. All right. Is there anything else that you wish to present on your own behalf, Ms. Stackhouse, before we call your witnesses?
Not at the moment.
Okay. I'm having trouble hearing you. What?
I said not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Okay. All right. So which of your witnesses do you plan to call first?
Patrice Merriweather.
Okay. All right. So why don't we take a 5-minute break while Ms. Merriweather gets on the line, and you can stay, logged in. If you want to turn off your microphone and your video, you can. But
Okay.
we'll come back at what time is it? 10. So say 10:33, and hopefully by then we'll have Ms. Merriweather on the line with
Yeah.
us. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
I know, it doesn't have my video.
Okay.
Were you able to get a hold of Miss
Yeah, she
Merriweather?
said something about, yeah, she said she'll be on in a few, something with her cat or something.
Okay.
So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Let me text her again. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me call her.
Oh, let's see. I've got someone in the waiting room. Hello.
Hello, this is Latrice Merriweather.
Okay. I don't have a video for you. Did you have to call in through your phone?
Yes, my internet somehow, we had an issue and my
Okay.
internet's out.
Okay. All right. Well, we will then take your testimony over the phone.
Okay.
So before I ask you any questions, I need to swear you in. So I need you to raise your right hand.
My right hand's raised.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. You can put your hand down. Please state your name and spell it for the record.
Latrice Merriweather, Latrice, Merriweather, Merriweather.
All right. And Miss Merriweather, do you work for the Wisconsin School for the Blind and Visually Impaired?
No, I don't. I worked there from 2002 to 2014.
And what position did you hold while you were there?
I was a child care counselor too in the residential portion of the school, the dorms.
All right. And this particular case involves allegations of discrimination based on sex and race. So for the record, what is your sex, Miss Merriweather?
I am a female.
Okay. And what is your race?
I am African American.
Okay. All right. I am going to have Miss Stackhouse ask you questions now. All right, Ms. Stackhouse, now is your opportunity to ask questions of your witness, basically eliciting any testimony that you want to get into the record.
Okay. So, Miss Merriweather, when was your first time hearing about a discretionary fund?
I heard about it approximately 2 years after I resigned my position from the Wisconsin School for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Okay. And when you left the school, can you tell us what reason you left the school?
I left the school for employment opportunities. I had another offer to advance my career, and the shift I was currently working wasn't fitting for my family life at the moment.
Okay. So I know that they was giving out discretionary funds since like 2012. Do you feel that since you didn't know anything about it, do you feel like if you had known that you would have deserved one?
I believe I would have deserved one. Every employee end of the year review, I've always had stellar comments from all my supervisors. I volunteered my time on different events. I had good attendance. I took care of students under my care exemplary. I volunteered many times, apart from my regular hours, to support events. I spearheaded events. I implemented different student groups, activities, clubs during my time there. So I feel if I had been aware of it, I would have been considered. I should have been considered.
Hmm. Did anybody ever at the time discuss with you anything about discretionary funds? I mean, you said you didn't hear about it until 2 years after. Do you think that's something that should have been inclusive?
I feel that it should have been common knowledge. I feel that it should have been something that was upfront to all employees. the fact that I never saw an email or it was never brought up in a meeting or then the prior recipients were announced, they weren't even announced. I just feel that, didn't feel very, when I heard about it, didn't feel very inclusive, that there was a merit system that was, my opinion, secretive.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't have any further questions for her.
Okay. Attorney Kernat, questions for this witness?
Just very briefly, Ms. Meriwether, you left employment with the Wisconsin School for the Blind and Visually Impaired in 2014, correct?
Yes.
So you have no direct knowledge of any actions taken at the Wisconsin School for the Blind and Visually Impaired in 2018 or later, correct?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had.
All right. Any redirect based on the questions asked by Attorney Kernat, Ms. Stackhouse?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Meriwether, thank you very much for your testimony today. I appreciate you participating.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're free to go. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Stackhouse, who would you like to call next?
I would like to call Lashmi. Yeah, they're waiting for you. So, all right. Thank you. Okay, she should be logging in any minute. So,
Okay.
let me see where she's at. See. I just text her to see if she's logging on.
Okay.
Um,
Yes, the system isn't perfect, so
no, it's not.
we have to wait a couple minutes for people to get on, but Otherwise, we wouldn't be holding any hearings, so.
She says she's trying to. I don't know. I don't think I ever saw this platform happening in this arena like right now.
Mm.
Normally you go in front of, so.
Yeah, I've used Zoom quite a bit more often than this, so. But they're all about the same once you kind of
Right.
work the kinks out, but.
You just want her to call in or you want her to see if she can keep trying?
Um, well, she can call in if that works easier.
Okay. I'm texting her right now.